I'm Rob Kircher, and welcome to our 1905 cottage. This is an ongoing series of episodes where my wife Barbara and I will be restoring this newly purchased diamond in the rough behind me. Now, call us crazy, and we probably are, but we believe that we can transform it into an absolute showstopper. However, we also know that there are many inherent problems. We have electrical problems, plumbing problems, insulation problems, and we know, folks, we know that there are many problems hidden within its walls. And trust me, they are there. So stay with us as we spend time, money, and effort in restoring our 1905 cottage. Coming up in episode 5, we'll be doing part 2 of our world's smallest bathroom, the restoration of it. That's right off our kitchen. And while we're in the kitchen, Barb and I will also be restoring the old kitchen cabinets. And still in the kitchen, Stephen's Floorings will be ripping up, I think it's 3 layers of old, I guess, Congolium to get to the bare floor, and then they'll be replacing it with a brand new floor. And I'm going to be exploring lake stones. Yeah, lake stones. They're at least 500 million years old along the shores of Lake Ontario. That plus many more things are coming up, so stay where you are. What we're doing here is transforming this old cottage kitchen into something really spectacular. The first thing we're doing is taking all the kitchen cabinet doors off, and then all the hardware. And the thing about these doors is they were varnished, overstained, but quite frankly they have years of kitchen grease and what have you on it. So it all has to be stripped down to the raw wood. The reason for that is we're painting these doors. So you want to have a nice clean surface to do that. And Babs is going to be picking out a color that I think you're going to absolutely love. I've seen it. I'm not going to tell you about it, but I have a little sneak preview of it, but I think it's outstanding. So stay with us as we transform this old cottage kitchen into something very cool. Well, as you can see, I'm covered in dust, but we're making progress. Right now, I've been using 60 grit, and then I'm going to go to 150, and then I'm going to go to 220. Now, 220 is very fine, and it's going to give me a really nice finish, even though it's pretty good finish right now. And then we're going to paint it. So, what is it now? 11:30, something like that. I would say by, 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that, I'll have this thing licked. So, stay up with me. So there's Barb. She's painting the primer on and doing a very good job. It's a tedious job because you have to reach way into the corners of those cupboards, and some of them are quite deep. Say hello, Barb.
Hello.
She's a woman of little words. All of Barbara's hard work in refinishing and painting the kitchen cabinets have really paid off, and this is what they look like in their final state, and I think it's absolutely amazing. Well, you can't smell it, but the breeze off Lake Ontario, which is about 500 feet from me, is absolutely so invigorating. And it's just a wonderful place to be. So we hope that you subscribe, that you share, and you like, and we'd like to hear your comments. So, another exciting day for us here at our 1905 cottage. It's raining, as you can see, but Stephen's Flooring are here today, and they're going to be ripping up our kitchen floor, the laundry room floor, and a little floor in our bathroom. And the owner thinks that he can possibly match the level in our dining room, which would be absolutely unbelievable. Steve, the owner, is just an amazing guy. He's been in business for almost 40 years, and he's just a real pro. And I am delighted that he's working on our house. And speaking of doing a phenomenal job, here's the owner, Steve, working like crazy. He's finally getting to the point where he's not camera shy anymore. My wife and I, as I mentioned before, have restored 3 homes. This is our 3rd one. And they're all detective stories because you're always trying to figure out, you know, what happened at a certain point in the life of that home. And well, in the case of this house, our 1905 cottage, it's another detective story. And one of the ones that's actually taking place right now is in the kitchen.
There's more to tear out, so it could be something else.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So there's more below that then?
Probably. Or they tear that out and put this on top. Put it in.
Are you going to tear out what's below that as well?
Yeah.
You are? Wonderful. Well, now we're going to see what the what maybe the original floor of this 1905 cottage actually looks like.
That's it. I can get this out of here. This is going to be a bad layer.
Really? Is it all nailed down?
Yeah.
Underneath 3 layers of flooring, there is sort of new tongue and groove. Well, why is it new tongue and groove? Why wouldn't it be old tongue and groove?
This is probably the original right here. You can see the tongue and groove and
Oh yeah.
just how old it is.
Yeah.
That's how it should look. That's what I was hoping for. Like,
Yeah.
this has all been redone.
Well, the reason is that at some point in time, one of the previous owners actually pulled up this floor and put new floor joists down and then put new cement blocks around the perimeter. But it's not old. Is there wood below that as well? The vinyl and then wood? There is. Wow. And then put new flooring down on top of it. So substantial.
Yeah, it's
Good.
It's in really good condition.
So it's a detective story, and I love every single chapter of it. Steve, I'm loving this. You're taking it right down to the original.
Yes.
We may be actually perfectly level all the way through here.
Or really not. It'd be close.
It'll be close,
It'll
right?
be close.
Yeah.
You see the
That looks fantastic. So this is the laundry room floor. Subfloor continues into this room, obviously into the kitchen, and we're going to have one beautiful flat floor through 3 rooms and flat going into our dining room, which I'm really, really happy about. Well, this is what was behind the washer in our laundry room, and you can see it's been leaking for quite a while. And this is what was behind the dryer. Take a look at that. Wow. And of course, carpenter ants. Decades and decades of flooring. Goodbye. Well, I'm a lover of history, and I love historical facts, and of course the year 1905 is in our hearts these days because of our 1905 cottage. But I started to think about what actually took place in 1905. Well, I'm going to read from my notes, I hope you don't mind, but the Audubon Society was incorporated. The world's largest diamond was discovered in South Africa, and it was a whopping 3,106 carats. The first automobile to exceed 100 miles per hour took place in Daytona Beach. Mata Hari performed her dance act in Paris. SOS was adopted as the Morse code, and the Hippodrome Arena in New York City opened. So how about that? All those wonderful things happened in 1905. So we hope that you enjoy our show and continue to watch, and also subscribe and share. We love to have you tag along with us because we love having you and we love working on our 1905 cottage. As you can see, I managed to put all the beadboard up in our small bathroom off the kitchen and then hit it with a coat of primer. The next step is it's a tedious job, but you want to go along and you want to tap in all the little finishing nail heads that are still popping up. If you don't do that, like that, and then hit it with a little sandpaper, when you paint, all those little nail heads will show and it'll look horrible. So that's how you give yourself a really good final paint job. The next thing is to go over it with 2 coats of really quality paint. So there you go. The last step in installing our beadboard in our small bathroom off the kitchen is finally completed. In fact, I just made this. This is a panel that's going to slide behind the toilet, and it's going to hide all the water lines that are coming into the home. It has 2 kind of odd slots here. This one is for the main turn-off valve, and this one is has a pipe sticking out that's going to connect to the toilet. So again, it's going to hide all of that works, if you will, in the back. Now, I made this door with these 2 magnets up on top, as you can see these, and the install is extremely easy. It just slides down over the 2 pipes, and the magnets snap in. That's it. So it was a good solution for a difficult situation that isn't the norm, if you will, but everything about our home is custom, custom, custom. So the next step is to put some prime on this, and the next thing is Barbara's got amazing colors she wants to have for this bathroom, so we're going to put 2 coats of really premium paint on that. So you don't want to miss that. That's coming up next. Well, the world's smallest bathroom is finally completed, and take a look at this. Wow. I got to tell you something. I think Barbara's choice of color is absolutely amazing, and I think we took advantage of every possible inch and pulling out all the stops for this really, really small space. And I hope you feel as strongly as we do. And I hope you continue to watch our 1905 cottage restoration. As I mentioned many times before, our 1905 cottage is full of surprises, and almost every day we find a new one. Well, one of the things that really interested me was the addition that they used to have on the front of this house. It was an open porch, and then they enclosed it. Well, when it was an open porch, they had a number of beautiful lake stones just outside of that. So they would step from the porch onto these lake stones. Now, in my process of kind of investigating, if you will, I unearthed just a treasure trove. I mean, a treasure trove of these. And so I'm actually going to be using them for a walkway, a pretty spectacular one, I believe, that's going to go from our back patio to our new shed. And I started thinking about these lake stones. I mean, how old are they? Well, as it turns out, they're well over 500 million years old, and they're formed by, it's actually limestone, and they're formed by the dissolving of water, if you will, as it passes through the limestone, and it forms into 2 kinds of formations. One is like a grits, and the other one is like a clink. And in between that is spaces. And so that's what I found in the front of our house. So I got to tell you something. I am just thrilled by it, and I can't wait to put this wonderful walkway down and have it meander out to our new sheds. It's always nice to find happy surprises, and I just discovered one of those. I knew these flat lake stones were here, and who knows when they put them down, I guess decades ago, but unfortunately they're kind of facing the wrong way. So when it rains, comes off the roof, water hits there, it's going to slide into the foundation of the house, which is what I don't want. They need to shed the other direction. However, I was looking at these thinking they would be perfect for that pathway that I want to create from the back patio to the shed. They're big, they're flat, perfect. And I now think I've discovered a treasure trove of these babies. So as I'm scraping away the old moss and dirt and overgrown ivy, I've discovered that it doesn't just end here, it ends over here. So that is like twice the amount of stones than I thought previously were here. And if it runs its course, which it may, all the way through the ivy, and then in that direction, I'm going to have more than I need. And I can also have them for other projects like continuing the sidewalk and going in that direction. So happy days are here again. Call me crazy, and I probably am, but I love this kind of landscaping. Now, this may not look like landscaping to you. It might look like this guy's playing around with some roots in a dirt pile. Well, it's going to be an amazing walkway. It's going to be a lake stone walkway that is going to be wide at the beginning here, so it ties into my patio, wide enough so I can put my grill on it, and then it's going to narrow down and meander toward my shed. Now you can't see the shed right now, it's out of the frame, but it's going to be a nice gentle walk and a little bit of a hill and dale to it, which I like, so it's going to have some character. And yeah, there's roots here. We've got some big old trees here, maple and what have you, so that's part of the virgin ground work that has to be done, but I love it all. All right, so you want to stay with me, I hope, and see how this turns out, because I think it's going to be very cool. So, Marvelous Marvin and I have been unearthing stones here, and we've been finding some gigantic ones, but it's nothing in comparison and pales to the size of this thing. Look at that. That is, how much do you think that weighs?
I don't know, maybe 110.
Wow. This is all going to be part of our walkway, so Marvin is going to try to get that to the back of the house by himself. Let's see if he can manage it or not.
I can do it.
Look at this. I mean, he is straining under that. Absolutely straining under it. Now we're stockpiling our rocks over here.
I'm thinking we should actually put it right down now.
You want to put it down? Okay. All right.
That's what I'm thinking.
All right. Look at the size of this rock. This pathway is going to be absolutely gorgeous once we get it done.
I think we should spin it around.
Look at the size of that thing. That's got to be
Put it right there.
4 feet by 3 feet, easy. And I don't know how much it weighs. It just
The tires are flat.
the tires on a dolly are flat. Unbelievable. Look at that. All right, so Marvin is excavating now and got it relatively fat. We're just going to put it in place right now. So basically place our stones, and then later on we can do the final adjustments. You know what, Marvin? You're going to hate me for this, but I think that flat side, maybe that flat side should be there.
No.
Yeah, keep turning yourself around. Okay. Yeah, like that. So this can go here. That could be the outside. Yeah, like that. There you go, like that. Just like that. See how that will fit in here? Let me pull the dolly out.
Yep. Wait. Okay.
Okay.
Going down.
It is a massive, massive rock.
It's going.
There you go. It's a beautiful fall crisp day, and I've got two of my close friends working in the background, Marvelous Marvin and Radical Ryan, and they're helping me place those enormous lake stones that we unearthed from the front of the house. There was a previous walkway out there, and they were there, a treasure trove. Well, that treasure trove is now developing into a very beautiful walkway from the house to my shed, which you can't see, it's out of frame right now. But it's like putting a jigsaw puzzle together, and these guys are doing a great job. So they're kind of looking at the overall scheme of the rock piles that we have, and then placing them, the specimen stones, what I call the very large ones, and then interspersing those with the medium-sized stones. And hopefully we're going to have enough to make it to the shed. So you want to stay with us and watch how this works. Here's a closer look at what they're doing. Radical Ryan is just pounding the dirt in around the edges of the stone, and Marvelous Ryan is applying the dirt. And then they have that 4x4 that they're using to both level as well as pound the actual rock as flat as possible. So the whole idea is to make a nice smooth walkway, and they're doing a great job. Well, it's day 2 on the construction of our lake stone walkway that leads from the patio where I'm standing, just out of sight, you don't see it, to the shed in the far background. And that's Radical Ryan working his magic, if you will, in creating this beautiful lake stone path. And that's quite a feat because the stones have to be leveled and they have to be undermined with dirt and so on and so forth so they don't move, and it's quite a job. But he'll have this done by the end of the day today, and I can't wait. And the next thing is in spring we'll be planting grass, of course, around here and so on and so forth. But this is going to make life so much easier because we can now go to the shed without getting our feet muddy. It'll look muddy here right now, but it won't be when it's completed. Here's another view of our path and Radical Ryan hard at work, and you can see he's nearing the completion of his path here. But if you look in the lower right, those are Medina pavers, and he's also going to be putting them along the side here as well, and again, for the same reasons I talked about before. So they're absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous pavers, and better known as Medina cobblestones. Coming up in episode 6, Steve Cicero from Stevens Flooring will be putting down our new flooring in our kitchen, pantry, and our little bathroom. And then we got Scott Guilfoyle, our master plumber, who's going to be installing a brand new boiler for us, and we can't wait for that. And then we have Shane from McGee Electric, who's going to be wiring our newly restored shed and adding a brand new panel box for us. And then we have famous artist Paul Herman, who is going to be painting a whimsical mural on the park side of our shed. And then finally, I'm going to be dealing with the return of our worldly goods via pods. And believe me, that's an operation. That plus many more things are coming your way, so don't forget to subscribe, share, and like us. We'll see you next time.